Hey harmonizers, welcome to this video with Alfie. We're going to do a Mustang taming update. This is him in the paddock with his little buddies. He's out in an all geldings field, primarily because we were noticing that there was becoming a little bit of drama between the boys and the ladies. Some of them were getting a little bit protective of their girlfriends, so we had to separate them into boys versus girls. And then here is a little look at him having his first bath and doing his spraying. So he was really, really good, a little bit kind of backing up and unsure, but overall pretty easygoing about the whole thing. Didn't overreact or get upset. It's just kind of like, why are you spraying me with this hose? And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's going to feel really good. And he was pretty quiet about that. Getting to the other side was a little bit more tricky. I didn't want to go underneath the rope or get the hose too close to him. A big part of training and just helping make sure that your horse does really well is to try not to accidentally overwhelm them. So I didn't want to get too close with that hose there. So I kind of sprayed him on the other side just from where I'm standing there, because I thought if I went underneath and kind of brought the hose too close to his legs, that might not be a good idea for his first bath. So we just kind of made it work from where we were there. It was a really hot day, so it was a great opportunity to kind of show him like, hey, this feels nice and it's nice cold water. And he was not thoroughly convinced in the beginning, but after all, look at him, he comes up, he's like, okay, I'll check out this hose, I'll stand on the mats, lets me spray him at the side there, and he's unsure, but he's really not doing anything bad at all. And you can see here as he comes closer, I'm able to spray on that other side even better. Of course, giving him some cookies along the way, making sure that he knows that I'm not trying to do anything mean to him. I'm trying to, do different things to help him. And that's where that positive reinforcement can really help as well. Giving them cookies along the way it just kind of reassures them like, yeah, I'm not trying to torture you. Switching gears now to trimming of the feet. This is his first time getting a hoof trim, and he's doing super awesome. He's even letting the farrier use the hoof stand there, and he's standing really nice and quietly. I was able to just put him on the cross ties, so he's gotten a lot more confident with his feet and picking up his feet. So it's so awesome that we were able to do this and even able to use the hoof stand and pull his leg forward. He was a little unsure at first, but this was great. He was that comfortable that the farrier is like right underneath him. He's able to pull his leg forward and do some filing up there as well. If anything, I had to kind of say, Alfie, leave the farrier alone. But he was really, really great for that visit, and I'm hoping that he feels a lot more comfortable now. It's definitely one of the harder things of training new Mustangs is you can see that they might have bad feet, or you can see that they have lots of dreadlocks in their manes, but you can't do anything about it until they get calm enough and trusting enough with you that they realize that you're going to help them, not hurt them. And then you're able to work on all of these different things. So it was really rewarding for me. This is a milestone, being able to have their hoof trimmed and to do such a good job at that. So I was really pleased to see how well he was for that. And check out this little clip here. I'll show you guys with one hoof done and one hoof not done. This is not the best clip here because he's got his feet so wide, but here's another little look. You can see the one on the left is not trimmed yet and the one on the right is trimmed. So looking a lot smoother, a lot better. Here's a little look at his other front feet. He was also good for his back feet. I just wasn't able to film at the same time because there's lots going on and wanted to make sure I was paying attention. Definitely when you're working with a farrier, you want to make sure that you're handling your horse and that you keep the farrier safe, because otherwise that's just not going to be really good experience for anybody. Here's a little look at him doing some of his trot stuff in hand. Sometimes we do things with the saddle or the bareback pad, we long line, and sometimes we just work on a loose rope like this and kind of play around. This kind of helps with building up that trot so that way we can get it better for the competition and more beside each other, but also this is going to help with learning to play at liberty and just kind of going around at a really loose rope and following around with each other. And I'd love to be able to do some liberty for our freestyle in the Mustang show. So we're working on a few little tricks, including this pedestal. I'm going to show you guys a video clip to show you how long it took him to realize that he needed to go on the pedestal all by himself. For those of you guys that don't know, we are training for the Mustang Tip Challenge in South Carolina. And basically what that means is there are these Mustang training challenges to try to help more Mustangs get out of the holding facilities. So the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, rounds up Mustangs, and they do that a couple times a year from the different herds that they manage. So there are lots of different states with wild horses that they manage these horses on, and essentially they do these competitions to try to help move more horses out. So you sign up for the competition, and what you do is you pick up your horse, and there's a specified amount of time that you can do the training. So these horses were picked up in June, and we have until September for the competition to do our training. And when we get there, there are going to be a bunch of different classes. So this particular one in South Carolina, there will be the option to ride our horses, and then there will be an in-hand option as well, with a handling class, a trail pattern, and then a freestyle. And so the freestyle is where you get 3 minutes in the ring to basically show off your horse. You can do some obstacles, liberty, in-hand, long lining, whatever you want to do. So it's always fun to do some obstacles. Of course, it means we have to pack all of the obstacles into the trailer. So we have to really think about how much stuff we want to do and how much we can fit in the trailer, because that always gets a little bit tricky. But here we're working on the pedestal, which is something that we might do in our freestyle. And I'm trying to get Alfie to figure out that he needs to put his feet on the pedestal all by himself and not me pick up his leg for him. So I'm allowing him a lot of time to sniff the pedestal, think about the pedestal after I picked up his leg for him. And you can see he's looking for the cookie. He's like, look, I touched it with my nose. Is that good enough? Can I earn the treat? And I'm like, no, not quite good enough. And then you can see he does his one little foot there, and I give him his cookie, and then he's like, oh, okay, stand on the pedestal. Does his 2 little feet, and then he gets his other cookie there. So positive reinforcement definitely working. And then I thought this was really cute. My daughter was running up and down the teeter-totter. There's my dog Lona there, and Alfie's doing so well. He's like, okay, yep, I'm all right with chaos. So I thought I'd share with you guys this clip of him long lining during summer camp, and it just really shows how far he's come in his training, because there is so much chaos happening in this video. So I'll show you guys as we come around here. There's a bunch of different things going on. We've got summer camp kids out that we're going to be passing by. And in the beginning, Alfie, likes people, like trained pretty quickly to accept people, but being around lots of other people and passing all of these distractions is a pretty tough task. So here you can see we're going around the arena. The kids in camp are doing a whole bunch of different activities. They're doing some roping, they're switching around different stations. So there's literally people everywhere doing different things. Like here you can see they're doing some ground games with Evelyn's Little Pony Dare, and he's walking by all of it. And this is going to really help prepare him for the competition, to be used to just movement and different things happening and different people training horses in different ways. And so he's just getting to understand that it's okay, like just continue to focus on me and just carry on with the different things that I'm asking you to do. At this point, his steering has gotten really good. So we're doing a little bit of steering as we're going around, and you can see he goes so easily into the poles, got a nice slack rein there, and he's getting a really relaxed walk to him as well. He's like, okay, yep, done this before. Doing my halt transition, little bit of backup, making sure he stays soft to those reins. And you can see he's just looking for the cookie. He's like, I know how this goes. I stop, I get my reward. And he's just so relaxed. Look how low his head's set there, just below the wither line. He's just totally at ease. So he's come a really long way with just understanding all of the different pieces and being really comfortable with learning and doing the different groundwork and the different tasks that I'm asking him to do. So this is all really fantastic. Part of training for the competition isn't just the skills for the competition, but it's all of the other pieces that are going to be at the competition. So here, even my daughter coming up beside me and walking along with me, all of those extra people. Here you can see the people in the center of the ring. I told them to move around and be pretty active. And we're just preparing Alfie for all of the different things he's going to see at the horse show. And when we get to the horse show, one of the harder parts is the fact that there's freestyles. And so we're going to be bringing props and different things for our freestyle, and so are other people. And there are going to be so many different themes and colors. There's going to be curtains, flags, you name it, it's probably going to be there. And a lot of times people put their props at the side of the arena, or they practice in the warm-up area first. And that means that he's going to need to be used to seeing lots of different things and not be upset, because if he is during the warm-up arena, that can really fry their brain a little bit and get them upset, and then he won't be able to focus on my freestyle. So I want to make sure that he's used to seeing lots of different things, that he knows not to be worried about any of it, that he can just relax and be with me and he'll be okay. I was so impressed that he handled my daughter running back and forth on the teeter-totter like that, because it kind of makes a loud noise too as it hits the ground a little bit. So that was super awesome that he's just kind of standing there. You can see his ears are definitely on me, paying attention and thinking, okay, is this just for a cookie? Which is another benefit to using the positive reinforcement and using the food rewards, is when stuff like this is happening, you know, he might find it a little bit stressful, but at the end of the day, he's still thinking, okay, like, you know, is this an opportunity to earn? Am I still getting my cookie? Or this better be cookie worthy, I'm pretty sure is what he's saying. But you can see his ears really focused on me. He's like, okay, there's a lot going on, but I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to focus on my human. And that's exactly what I want. I want the horse thinking, let's focus on me. So here's an interesting one. We came in to do the bridge, and he was being a little klutzy with it and thinking, I don't need to walk over the bridge. And most of the time I'll lead him over the bridge, and this is kind of a new thing to say, okay, I want to long line you over the bridge. And this really helps prepare him for being ridden to do something like this, because I'm steering from behind and asking him to go forward, and he's got to do it all by himself without me leading him first. And you can see he's just kind of going sideways a little bit there, nearly backs up into my daughter. She had to get out of the way there. And he's just like, I could just go around the bridge, Lindsay. Do you not see this? So I just keep backing him up and redirecting. So I think it's really important for the horse to back up and be redirected, so that way they understand that you're making a correction and you're trying to help them get into a thinking frame of mind. If you allow the horse to just go forward and walk a circle, I find that they start to think, like they just kind of get really bargy and can get walking. So we want to make sure they understand that they need to actually do something different. So there, although that was not perfect, I thought I'll still reward him, give him a cookie, let him know that he's on the right track, because he was really struggling with that. Anytime a horse is struggling with something, it's really good to reward their progress, because then they're more motivated to try, but also they have a better idea of what you're looking for. So now Alfie knows, okay, I got the cookie when I walked up onto the bridge. So I have to actually go to the bridge. So I kind of go in slowly, and then this time you see he just goes up and on, and he's like, okay, got it. All 4 feet on the bridge. And I'm going to stop him and just kind of wield my lines in there and offer him another cookie, make sure that he knows he's a total superstar for figuring that out. You can see he's getting really comfortable with me going in and out, just even in terms of how I'm able to approach him from behind. I feel totally at ease with him. Check out that low headset again. Even as we go into our trot, look how relaxed that is. He's stretching, he's lowering his head. It's really easy for him to be able to do. So that's all looking really, really relaxed and wonderful. And all of this is going to just help our riding. We've just done barely any riding so far at this point, just a little bit at the walk, and doing more of this long lining work is just going to reconfirm for him what those go signals are, what those trot signals are, what those turning signals are, and just really help everything get a lot smoother for the riding portion as well. So we're going to keep up on the long lining, as well as doing some riding sessions as well, keeping them short and sweet, because remember, we don't want to get his back sore from going from no riding at all and never carrying a human ever in his life to all of a sudden doing 1 hour rides or something crazy like that. So we start short, simple, sweet, very rewarding. We want him to know that when he tries, we're going to reward, and then that way he can just stay really happy through the whole process. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what your favorite part has been so far. Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.